Goodness. That's Rupert. That's Pumpkin. Some of you might know about him. I know most of y'all know about him if you've been watching. And that right there's Sukihana. And that over there, that's her mom, Luna. Don't mind none of that. I'll explain it pretty soon. And I'm Johnny. How's it going? Nice to officially meet you guys after all this time. Yes, I am filming on a phone. So this right here is a setup. Don't mind some of the mess that I got right here. This is my closet as much as I can fit in it. The bed, a couple boxes, the old Xbox. This right here is a setup. Got the dual monitor action going on. This one's for the PC. That one's for the Xbox and the PC. Don't mind all that. So let me give you a wide angle shot of all this. That right there is the setup. That is background dressing for, you know what, we'll talk about that soon. But let's get to why you guys are really here. So, this is going to be one of those things where in order for me to properly tell a story, I need to start back. And
boy, if you don't get...
So, as you all know, I have a dog, Rupert. You guys just met him. I have two of them, actually, and two cats now. Rupert. The whole reason I haven't uploaded, really, comes down to him. And it's a long story. The TLDR, I got evicted because of him. I was homeless for 10 months. Shout out to you. If that's all you really wanted to know, that's why. But if you really care about like the events behind it, this is what happened. It really all started in spring of 2019. So I used to live in a trailer park. Not really like a trailer park, like Trailer Park Boys style, like nothing light like that. It was more like a manufactured home setup, kind of like this. It was nice neighborhood, you know, homey vibes. It was a nice place. I loved it there. I lived there for the last 19 years. And I'm 24, you know? So I've lived there for most of my life. Really, all of my cognizance, all of my memory, my deepest memories, they all go back to this neighborhood, right? And we've been there for such a long time. And for as long as we have been there, there has never been an issue with dogs. Most of the neighbors in the neighborhood always had Rottweilers, they had Huskies, they had Boxer dogs, they had German Shepherds, you name it. Big dogs were never an issue. All of a sudden, one day, I'm walking my dog, you know, I'm walking back home, and all of a sudden, we see the new property manager. And keep in mind that before her, we have had two property managers already, and they knew about Rupert, they never said anything about him, right? Not a word, not a peep. Because again, these property managers themselves also had quote-unquote big dogs. But this new property manager, for whatever, took it upon herself to lay out some new policies and not tell anybody about it. I'm walking my dog home and then she says, oh, does he live here? I'm like, oh no, yeah, we live, you know, in house number whatever. And then she says, oh, he might be too big to live here. And I just look at her weird. You know, maybe that's getting off on the wrong foot, but I ain't gonna lie, I gave her a sour look, because how are you gonna tell me that my dog is too big to live there and that's never been an issue before? He's already 2 years old at this point. No, 3. Oh my God, he's already 3 years old at this point, and he's been there way before her, through the last two property managers, and all of a sudden it's an issue. That just didn't sit right with me, so I did give her a weird look. I didn't say nothing disrespectful, but definitely she got the vibe by the way I looked at her. Maybe that wasn't the way to go, but it just really caught me off guard, right? The next thing we know, I get a letter on my door from the official property management saying that my dog needs to get neutered and have vaccinations and submit proof of both. Luckily, I live in Washington and my dog is AKC registered. And in Washington state, I do not have to get him neutered. That is not something that has to happen. They cannot legally force me or ask me to neuter my dog. I mean, I guess they can under certain circumstances, under special circumstance, but there was no special circumstance here. So I took that to her, telling her that, hey, I'm not gonna do this to my dog. Some of you might do that to your dogs and that's completely fine. You do you. I'm not gonna do that to my dog. Personally, that's just, I don't believe in neutering my dogs. That's just me. Again, if y'all wanna do it, y'all do you. I'm not gonna tell her how to raise your kids. So I tell her I'm not gonna do this to my dog, right? And so then she kind of just drops it after the fact. However, she still tells me that my dog exceeds 35 pounds, and of course, he's a golden retriever. He's a purebred golden retriever, and he's massive as hell. He's really strong. He's a big dog. He really is. And I'm looking at her weird, and then I'm asking her to show me where in our contract it says I can't have a dog that's over 35 pounds. Keep in mind, currently, when this is happening, I can name 3 other houses. Of course, I didn't throw them under the bus, because I figured that was really douchey. I did think about it, but I didn't say anything. But while this is happening, there's 3 other houses that have a boxer dog, a big boxer dog, shout out to Coco, a husky, and then the other one I think was a German Shepherd. Yes, those 3 dogs were in the neighborhood as we spoke. I guess she just hadn't seen them. She just saw my dog first, and I'm the first one that she went after. Whatever. And lo and behold, she is completely unable to fully show me where it says I can't have a dog that is 35 pounds until about 2 weeks later, she wants my dad, of course not me, my dad, to sign a new contract with the property management as of the one that we signed, what was it, 18, 19 years ago at that point, was null. And that's not the case at all. The contract that we signed 18, 19 years ago was still very much in effect, and nowhere there did it say I couldn't have a dog that was over 35 pounds. It literally only said I couldn't have bully breed dogs. I couldn't have a pit bull. So my dad digs out a copy of our original contract, and we take it to her like, hey, this is not an issue at all. And she tries to evict us. That's really where the problems start. And this is already about summer of 2019, so I really only have 6 months left at my household at this point, but I don't know that yet. She tries to evict us. She tries to tell us that we have to sign a new contract, or to dip, or to rehome my dog. And again, some of y'all might see this as hella extreme. You would probably never go homeless for your dog, but you guys gotta understand that this is more than just my dog. He's my son. Some of you might understand, some of you might not, and again, you guys do you, but this is my son. Him and Pumpkin both saved my life. This is something I've never really expressed on the channel, but I am type 2 diabetic. When I was 18, that's when I was diagnosed. I was at my heaviest at 357 pounds. I am now down to 223 pounds, which, you know, it's all thanks to them. Walk them every day, twice a day, you know, starting eating better. But really, it comes down to them. If you don't walk your dogs, they just get depressed. It's as simple as that. And a depressed dog didn't live for a long time. And I love these guys, and I want to live as long as a life as they possibly can. And so for that reason alone, I was not gonna rehome my dog. I was not gonna give him away. I wasn't gonna do none of that. And to be quite honest with you, my dad, my mom, and my sisters were all on the same side. I was just the one who expressed it verbally, but they were all kind of relieved that we all felt the same way. Quite literally, all 6 of us, we all felt the very same way about it. We're not going to get rid of them. We're going to fight this. Finally, around mid-January of this year, 2020, finally rolls around, and we're leaving. We pack up the house. We're gone in about 3 or 4 days. That's about how long it took for us to fully do the process. And we moved into another house. We didn't purchase a house. It was literally just a rental, just a super temporary month-to-month rental. The owner of the house was in the process of selling it. He figured, why not make some cash, rent it out to my dad while he does sell it, you know, in the meantime. So I did have a house for a little bit from January to the beginning of March. I lived in the super ghetto part of downtown. It was bad. Like, you could not walk outside without being strapped, kind of bad. I hated living there, but it was a roof over my head and I didn't complain once. I didn't like it one bit. Also, there was no internet. I figured I don't want to get internet there if I'm just going to be there for what I thought was going to be 2 or 3 weeks. We were there for about 2 months, you know, whatever. And then finally, the beginning of March rolls around. The homeowner hits up my dad saying, hey, I sold the house. You guys need to be gone within a week. Okay, sure, no problem. We move out and we go to a hotel, right? A motel, actually. It's not a hotel, it's a motel. We went to a motel for what we thought was going to be 3 weeks while my dad found us another place. And then the pandemic hit America. It hit definitely before that, but that's really when the shutdown and the lockdowns really started. Around mid to the end of March, that's when things really took a turn for the worse in America, and, you know, took a turn for the worst for my family, because now all of a sudden, we couldn't get a house, we couldn't get a loan, we couldn't do anything because everything was basically just paused. It was shut down. It was just in a limbo. We couldn't do anything. It was right at the beginning of COVID season, you know, when everything was shut down, when fear was at its peak, when people were actually staying home, you know. And so then from there, I guess, long story short, I lived out of a motel from mid-March up until the first week of September. That entire time, I lived out of a motel with my mom, my dad, and my 3 sisters. It was all 6 of us. And that was rough, you know? I didn't have anywhere to put my stuff. I kept what little changes of clothes that could fit in my car, and I fit another 3 changes of clothes inside the hotel room. Constant laundry, so you know it wouldn't smell or whatever. I'd constantly go to the storage, just rotate clothes, and it was hard. You know, I had nowhere to call my own. I had a sliver, quite literally a sliver of the motel for me, and I slept on the ground. And finally, we're at this place. We've been here since about September 1st. Now, let me go ahead and try to explain away the boxes, the pink walls, and everything that's been going on. This house is not ours. We're renting it again, but we are renting this from a family friend. So the people who were here before us moved out. They knew about our situation, and instead of just listing the place, they kind of just hit up my mom like, hey, I got this place. You know, if y'all don't got anywhere to be, I'll rent it out to you guys, you know, so you can get out of the hotel room. 3 days later, we were in here. That's first week of September. And why haven't I uploaded since? Well, among other personal reasons that I don't want to get into, I made a cryptic post, I think it was back in December or January. This guy right here. I don't know if I'm even in frame. I'm looking at the back of my phone, but this guy. That sort of had to do with the fact that I knew that we were getting evicted. Maybe I'll talk about it one day, but I just don't feel comfortable talking about it right now. But basically, the girlfriend that I had at the time is no longer my girlfriend, and my coworker is now my girlfriend. That's about as short as I can make it without giving away a lot of detail that quite honestly I'm not comfortable giving you guys. And if you made it this far, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I can't tell you how much that actually means that you're this far into the video. So we moved in. We knew that we were going to be here for a little bit, you know, a couple months while my dad rebuilds his credit so I can get an even bigger loan. Because he doesn't just want to get like you know, just like a medium-sized house. He wants to get a big house because that's where he's gonna live for the rest of his life, God willing. So you know, he's trying to build his credit more. So you know, we know that we're gonna be here for a little bit longer also, and that's completely fine with me because this place is homey as hell and I like it. But the reason I didn't upload in September is because I was scared. I abandoned my channel, and I didn't know if you guys were still gonna rock out with me or not. I figured maybe when I upload it again, some of you might say, Johnny, casual gaming, who is this guy? And then just unsub. But I decided to throw caution to the wind, and I'm gonna start uploading again, because I want to. I don't care if this video gets 1, 2, 5,000 views. Honestly, who knows? I'm just happy that I'm back to making content. I'm in a place where I want to be, mentally, you know, in my life. I have a lot of blessings. Considering everything that's happened, I've been very blessed, and I thank God for that a lot. And I decided I'm just gonna start uploading again. I wanted to upload on the first Friday that Call of Duty was out, but again, I was scared. I'm super rusty. My video making skills are rusty. The editing, the actual recording, the talk track, it's so rusty and it's cringy. But I figured, whatever, let me just upload. And I'm making this video just to kind of explain to you guys why I was gone. I didn't just abandon the channel. I legitimately just didn't have any means or reason to upload. I just wasn't in a state mentally or quite literally physically to like make content. But I'm back now. Hopefully you guys are rocking with me. If you guys have any questions, if you guys feel like there's anything I left out that you might want to know about, let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, if you guys could like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. As you can see, super rusty, don't know how to do an outro. Or rather, I just have no confidence. But whatever, we're doing this thing, and I'm happy to be back. Johnny out.